Well, it's funny because we will kind of joke around and she'll hop on the drum set, and then I'll try to really teach her something, and the coordination's not there either. But if there is one instrument I would love to try, I would probably say bass. One less string. I'm just kidding.
Merci.
Santé.
Santé. I listened to some Dream Theater, and I listened to the stuff I listened to when I was like 15 years old.
I actually wrote them an email saying like, I'm sorry, but I can't go to the auditions. And they called me again. They sent me another email months afterwards, and they were like, oh, are you sure you're not interested? I was like, don't ask me again. I can't refuse that twice.
Hey everybody, it's Mark Sugiyama from Eclectic Arts based here in Seattle, Washington, and I am so happy. It's Friday for one. It's a little after 1 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time here in the United States, and it's so great to be back here on this side of my interview dining room, whatever the fuck this thing is. Anyone who's never seen or has seen the Fun Table sessions knows that when you see all this mess behind me, that means we're here to do a Fun Table session. When you see the paintings and the backdrop stuff, then that's formalized interviews. So if you're new to this, this is when I bring back guests that I've formally interviewed. There's been a few exceptions where I didn't interview somebody before they joined a Fun Table session, but we're just here to hang out. So if you're in the chat, and I think Carlos, hi, good seeing you. You're on Twitch and YouTube. And Ken, good to see you down in Houston. Industrial Girl, always good to see you. Thank you for joining us from East LA. And nice collection you got there. That's true. Depending on what you're watching this on, you could probably look there and see some of the stuff that I have back here. Well, I'm pointing in the wrong direction, but anyway, you just kind of know how this goes. Is that my guests have never met each other before, so virtually they're meeting, and we just met before we went live here for the first time, and we just kind of hang out and talk about random things. So if you have something that you want to comment on or ask somebody from one of my guests, please put it into the chat. Know that if you're on YouTube, you do need to subscribe to my channel, but in 5 minutes, then you'll be able to join the chat. So that's some feature that I guess is new to them, which I kind of like. So if you're on the Twitch side of things, if you could follow me over there, that's always good. But just kind of know again that these sessions started the end of July last year when I was on the Alice virtual tour. It was the second leg of that tour, and I was looking for some way to just do something a little bit different. So I invited 3 of the guests back that I had done one-on-one interviews with, and we kind of had some fun with it. And then the very next week, I remember I did another one. And then my third one was actually the very first live stream I ever did on my own. And that was back in August. And they just became really fun. So when schedules allowed, then we put people together. And as we all know, thankfully, things are starting to look up in terms of things opening around the world. And so people's schedules are getting busier. That also means like Friday and Saturday nights in particular are pretty difficult for a lot of people, including myself. So I would love to keep doing these through the summer. It just depends on schedules with people. I have some other guests that want to do them, but they've got shows coming up, which is awesome. They've got rehearsals. They've got, a bunch of stuff. So like, Mark, can you do it on a Tuesday night? And for me, I can't do it on Tuesday evenings, that kind of thing. So just know that we're here to hang out and have a good time. And hopefully this will be the start of not just this session, but many more sessions to come. And yeah, so let's get to everything. Gosh, it's such a trip to think, when did I interview some of these folks? So I'm going to bring the oldest person back in terms of the longest time it's been in terms of interviews. And so this talented artist is a part of a progressive metal band down in Los Angeles, California. And her interview was right after the Alice virtual tour finished. It was literally the next night. I want to say it was like a Wednesday or a Thursday night. And she probably remembers this. I'll never forget this. I was so just kind of tired and just decompressing from that tour that when we did her interview, I kept pressing the button here on my device and I couldn't get it to where it was landscape or horizontal. So we just did it vertical like you would do on Instagram Live or something. And I had just a complete brain fart that I was pressing the wrong button to change the layout. So if you saw the intro that I did earlier today, then you saw that that's why it was shaped like this and everything else. So I want to bring in Jessica Perry from Dianthus.
Hello. What is that?
Hey, Jessica. Good to see you horizontally.
I know. Back at it the horizontal way.
Yeah. How are you doing down there?
I'm doing pretty good. My day is actually just starting. It's 1 p.m. here in Riverside, California. So I sleep in. So my day's just getting started.
Nice. I tried to sleep in. I heard my neighbors outside doing something at 6 this morning. I didn't know what that was. Nothing bad, but they're getting their car loaded up with a bunch of crap or something. But
Oh,
yeah, it's good that you're here, and it's nice to see you. That it's funny to think that was October of 2020 that we
Right.
did that interview. So it's like it's been longer
Yeah.
than that's been eight. I can't do math. 8 months, 9 months almost. Wow.
It's been a long time. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I see Industrial Girls welcoming you to your first fun table.
Thank you.
Yeah, and let's bring in the next guest whose interview was in February of 2021. And I really enjoyed talking to her, not only about her band and everything she does as a vocal coach, but also her musical theater background, because I review the musical theater productions when they come to Seattle. And last I heard, they're going to start coming back in October to the Paramount Theater, where I typically am. So this is going to be awesome. I know she has a new single coming out, or I don't want to say it's coming out. And I know they also announced that her band has got tour dates for next year. So that's going to be really freaking awesome to hear about too. So let's welcome in Marina from Phantom Elite. Hey, Marina.
Hello.
Hello, hello, hello.
How are things over in Germany?
Warm, surprisingly enough. Yeah. Today has been like, what, 30 degrees Celsius? I don't know in Fahrenheit. I have no clue. But it's been warm. I'm just saying it's warm.
Okay, yeah, I just interviewed two bands from Germany yesterday, and they said the exact same thing. So, oh, it's hot over here right now.
Yeah, it's very weird. No, I mean it's summer, so it's
Summertime.
supposed to be hot. Yeah.
Okay, and are you somebody that likes it when it's warm, or you prefer it to be cooler?
It's hard since I come from Brazil. Like I know that too warm, too hot is just horrible. I personally don't like it, but I do enjoy the sun. So I like when it's hot, but not baking, when you're not baking
Yeah.
inside your office or something. Yeah, that's what I prefer.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I tell people all the time that I like the sun, but I don't like the heat that comes with it sometimes.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
humidity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And let's bring in our third guest who's patiently waiting. And I interviewed her band. That was pretty recent. I want to say early May. They are a traditional heavy metal band from France, and she is the drummer for that band. And she also had some hand delivery of wine during our interview, which was a first. So let's welcome ZaZa from Furies.
Hello. Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Yes. Hola.
Hola.
Hello,
Bonjour,
hello.
bonjour, bonjour. I don't have
Bonjour.
wine this time. I only have water. So don't worry, I won't say anything stupid. Yes, I hope.
Is your boyfriend there to make a hand delivery like last time, or?
Actually, he's sleeping just there on the couch. He's waiting for me. He's very tired. Poor guy.
You're in France, right?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, so it's also late over there.
10
Yes,
o'clock.
10 p.m. Yeah.
Oh.
It's not so late because normally I was thinking like, oh, I'm into metal, so I should be a night owl.
Right. Proper schedule.
I'm like in bed at 9 p.m. normally. I'm like
Oh my God.
a
No,
lady.
Oh.
I
Thanks for
envy
staying
that.
up.
I wish I would be like that. I'm the typical musician.
Late schedules. Me too. Me too.
I like to get up early, so
Yeah, I get it. It's good to wake up early.
Yes.
And I see a couple people have mentioned that 30 degrees Celsius is 86 degrees Fahrenheit for those that are, yeah, I don't like that.
Well, 100 degrees Fahrenheit
Wow.
is really hot.
And,
Yeah, it's
and
hot everywhere. It's humid too.
it's the same here.
Mm-hmm.
Yikes.
It's really hot.
Oh my gosh. So how are you feeling about things, a year later? I hope everyone's feeling a little bit better, a little bit more hope, a little bit more just that there's some things are starting to happen. And if they're not happening now, they're planned to happen in the next, rest of this year into early next year. And I know for myself, it started making me feel good about some of those things that I love are slowly coming back. It's still not 100% with certain things, but at least it's like, I remember sitting here in June last year and it was like, yeah, it actually got worse around here. So it's like, thankfully, I can go out. I've seen my family over the last month who I hadn't seen like in the same space for over 14, 15 months until we got vaxxed and all that kind of thing. And it's just like, hopefully everyone's, feeling a little bit better than you were 12 months ago.
Right. At least we're progressing, slowly but surely. Yeah.
We're not sure what's going to happen after because we already have several isolation. So maybe, I don't know, with all the variants, we cannot say anything, but we are hoping we let us hope for better future.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, shows are coming back too, which you mentioned ZaZa earlier with Hellfest.
Yeah.
Things are looking up.
Yes, it's good perspectives. So it can rejoice a bit. We can hope for some shows, some concerts, festivals. That's cool.
Yes.
Is the Hellfest gonna happen this year?
Not this year, but next year, yes.
Next year.
And next year it's going to be a double Hellfest, like 2 weeks Hellfest. It's crazy, like 400 bands and yeah.
Make up for the lost time.
Yeah, the lineup is crazy. Yeah.
Awesome.
Very good.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Is the lineup already set, or is there space?
Yesterday. Yeah, they released the lineup yesterday.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Nice.
Too bad. I mean,
but
if your band wants to play there.
Yeah, I would
wait still. Yeah.
In fact, we played with Furies in 3 years ago, but on a small stage, on a small stage.
They have a lot of stages, yeah.
Yeah, and it was great. It was great, but you never know. Maybe there will be. Maybe there will be some constellations, and you will be programmed or.
Look at that. Maybe someone's watching.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah.
There you go. It sounds like some talented people want to be playing some festivals out there, people. So if you're a booker or a talent agency or somebody, get in touch.
Let's do this.
Yeah, no, it's that's a whole lot of hell going on for 2 weeks next year.
Seriously.
But that's quite the line. I'm actually surprised, pleasantly surprised, even here in the States, that some festivals are booked for the summer into the fall. I thought that was gonna be like the last thing to come back. There'd be like smaller shows and things of that nature, but there's some things that are ready to go, and I want to say at least July and August already, and they're ready to go. So
it seems like the U.S. is some states faster than others, but it's really like going fast, right? People are really speeding things up over there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that seems to be the case for me. I mean, the venues, at least around here in Seattle, I don't know for Jessica down in California, but they're already booking all their stuff. So I'm getting email after email, press release after press release. Like, here's all the bands coming. And it's all different styles of music, different size clubs, to the small to the huge stadium stuff. I know Climate Pledge Arena, which holds like, I think, 18,000 people, has got stuff scheduled for the fall now. So it's like, yeah, they didn't mess around. And that's up here where we're pretty conservative in terms of wanting to open up versus like if you're in Tennessee or Florida or Texas.
Florida, yes. Yeah. I've been keeping up with Florida.
I know. But yeah, slowly but surely. California, we're slowly opening up. We have this venue called The Cave. It's in Big Bear. It's up in the mountains. It's like the one venue up there. It's a pretty awesome place, and they just opened up too. So slowly.
Cool.
Okay, all right. Yeah, and again, for people that are watching, if you have a comment or a question or just anything you'd like to throw in there to any of the guests, please do so. Either they can see it or I'll definitely see it, and I'll just stick it on the screen. So know that this is your chance. Like if you're hanging out in a bar and you saw these three talented folks hanging out next to you, it's a pretty rare opportunity. We can actually ask questions, and they'll be directly, answered by that person, not some weird, middle person or publicist, doing something, or a tour manager. It's like the actual artist will be talking to you. So just kind of know that. Man, it's actually getting warm in my apartment already. Oh, maybe it's this beer.
Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe that. Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
People kind of know I'm only going to have one during this because it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon, but then I'll have a few more tonight. My birthday was 2 days ago, so I'm kind of.
Oh, really?
Happy belated birthday.
Yeah. Thank you.
Mine was a few days ago. I don't even know how many days ago it was. What day's today again? I think it was a
Today's
week ago.
Yeah,
Today's
18th.
18th. Oh,
Yeah.
well,
It was
Happy
kind of a
belated
week
to
ago.
you, Marina.
yeah, happy belated to you.
Happy
Thank you,
birthday.
thank you.
So, Marina, does that mean that you're a Gemini as well?
Yeah.
Okay. Now,
Yeah.
what are the traits of Geminis? I don't even know. I mean, I don't follow that stuff. Did you know?
Me neither, but everybody is kind of like, I don't know, people who follow that up, like who know a lot
Horoscopes.
about horoscope. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're usually like, oh my God, you're a Gemini. And I'm like, why? Is it a bad thing to be a Gemini? People say that, like, oh, you're the worst to date.
Oh, all these, yeah.
I've heard that
No.
so many times. And I'm like, wow.
Why?
Okay. Like, you don't even know me.
Right.
Yeah, no. I actually don't know. I actually don't know. So if there's anyone watching there, you know a lot about horoscope. I know that my bandmate Clementine Delaunay, also French girl, she's also a singer from Visions of Atlantis. I know that she knows a lot about.
Oh, we did
Nice.
we did an interview together as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, some months ago. Yeah. She's really nice. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, cool. So yeah, I mean, I know that she knows. So that I was thinking about asking her, like, oh, what are traits of Gemini?
I just I Google sometimes, and then all these things pop up. It's you
Yeah,
can't narrow it down.
it's sometimes you watch your horoscope because you have something important incoming during the week, so you're a bit anxious and you would want to be reassured. So
Yeah,
that's pretty like superstitious. But I don't know what are the characters of all the signs. Me, I'm Scorpio, and nobody likes Scorpio.
That's an awful one as well. Everybody's always saying like, "Oh, Scorpio, oh."
They say I'm mean. It's not the case.
It's your perspective on things, right? Yeah.
Oh, I see Carlos is a Scorpio too, ZaZa. So you've got a Scorpio in the chat right now.
Who? Are we? Sorry?
We have somebody from the chat right here.
Are we?
Oh, okay. Hello,
Oh, cool.
Carlos.
This is on YouTube. Okay.
Yeah, and like Marina was saying, anybody in the chat, if you want to do some homework for us, let us know what the traits of a Gemini are. I would be interested to know because I just don't really know. And ZaZa, like you were saying, my mom likes to look at her horoscope when she's going to go to the casino to see if she's going to be lucky that day.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah. So, and let's see, we've got a Taurus with Industrial Girl. Oh, well, Ken's also a
I'm a Taurus.
Oh, okay. So, wow.
All right.
Got a Taurus here.
Cool.
Any Geminis in the chat besides Marina and I? No, not yet.
I think Geminis are supposed to be something like the obvious, like double-faced or something. I don't know.
You know what? The industrial it might
very
be
communicative. That's people say that. Oh yeah, there you go. See,
attitude.
180 with attitude. That's what she said.
Interesting. Well, it kind of fits the frontman persona, right? Like the singers and stuff, just having fun up there.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I would say I really identify with that because when I'm on stage, not that I have a persona or anything. I find it really cool to have a persona, but I just can't.
Oh, you're just yourself. You know?
Yeah,
that's the best thing you could be.
Yeah. I mean, I like personas as well. They're pretty cool. It's like pretty theatrical, like Lana Del Rey, for example. You know, like that's a really cool thing that she has going on for her as an artist. But yeah, no, I mean, like when I'm on stage, I'm very communicative and I'm out there and stuff, but I'm actually quite an introvert.
I kind of relate with that too.
It's
Yeah,
just
on a normal basis, yeah. But
Mm.
music, I think, brings us all out of that in a way.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you're also a drummer, right? So
Yes. Yeah.
that's like,
Drummer.
yeah. My boyfriend is also a drummer. He is the drummer of Phantom Elite, actually.
Oh, very
Yeah, so he,
nice.
he keeps pointing out that he's the drummer and he doesn't like to make appearances.
Oh, he's like
Never.
hiding in the background.
Yeah, he's like, I'm the drummer. Leave me
Yeah.
alone.
But all the symbols up here is you can't see it.
Yeah.
Right, right. But yeah, Zaza, how many symbols do you have, by the way? I'm curious for your drum kit.
Um, I have like it depends, in fact, but I have two Charleston, um,
Okay,
two Charlie, one right and left.
nice.
I have two crashes, one right cymbal and one China. I don't.
Nice.
It's not a very big kit, but
Right.
it's a bit more. It
Yeah,
depends.
it's
How,
enough for what you have, right? It's enough for the music. So
yeah, yeah. I just buy cymbals just for one. It's for the purpose. It's not to be beautiful. Even if I love very big drum kits with
same.
all the stuffs and rototoms and
Everywhere. Yeah, like
yeah,
the
I
Barrett
like, but
status.
I wouldn't know what to do with that. So
Same.
I actually just wanted to ask you, since you're both drummers, that's really cool. And I'm
Uh-huh.
forced to knowing a little bit about drums. So
Oh yeah, you're
uh,
gonna come out of this knowing a lot more. Yeah.
I live with a drummer as well, you know. So it's like, yeah.
True, true.
Yeah. So what do you guys think of big drum kits versus normal drum kit? Do you think it's like
Oh.
big drum kits are is it really something that people can use, or is it more for the show indeed?
I think
Yeah. Oh yeah, go
uh,
ahead.
yeah, sorry.
Oh, you're
Uh,
fine. Yeah.
I think it depends on the person. If this person needs all these symbols to make a special effect on this song, or yeah, it's cool. I think it's very beautiful to have a very big drum kit, like
Yeah.
show to show off, because it's like theatrical. I like this kind of stage setup. But
Cool.
I'm also very admiring the drummers who do so many great stuff with only two toms and one crash and one ride and a Charleston, so, and one
Yeah.
simple bass drum.
I
So
agree.
it depends.
Yeah, exactly. I agree with you, Zaza. Yeah, it depends on the application and the person.
Yeah,
I think they're both challenging. I think the bigger the kit, the more physically challenging it is because you're reaching everywhere. But like with a small kit, it's more like challenging with what you can do with just that.
sure,
So
sure.
yeah.
You have to be with a small kit. You have to do more. I don't know how to say that in English. Like a nuance, like forte and piano. Yeah,
Oh, dynamics. Yeah,
dynamic,
Yeah,
dynamic.
yeah.
Thank you.
Of course,
Uh,
yeah.
so you have to be careful of dynamics to make more effects with a small drum kit. Uh,
Yeah.
but if you have a very big one, you can like maybe care less, because you have like small cup chimes and stuff like
Bells.
that, and very big cymbals, and I don't know. So it's
Oh, I get it. Yeah, that
Right,
makes
right.
sense. That makes
So
sense.
much, so much stuff to do. You could also add like a hybrid stuff like electronics and trigger
yeah.
stuff too. So I personally don't have that set up, but
Do you have this trigger stuff?
I actually don't. The only like electronic thing I got is it's the Yamaha EAD. So I
Yeah,
just practice with that. But
yeah, me
yeah, I
too.
don't.
The same.
You have one too?
Yeah, I have just for practice at my home. I have an electronic drum kit, and for the rehearsals, I have a normal drum kit. But
Awesome.
what drum kit is behind you? I see.
Yeah, this is I'm kind of in the way. It's a Tama Star Classic. It's a
Huh?
Babinga wood and birch, but it's like a black and silver sparkle. Yeah.
Cool,
Cool.
So it'll
nice.
be fun.
So you have like a Jessica, you got like a full like this is a full setup right at home. So do you have a
Right.
studio there? Is it isolated enough so that you can practice at home?
Um, it's actually it is kind of, yeah, like a home studio, but it's not really isolated. It's actually a living room that we kind of turned into our practice space. But it kind of opens up and, like, there's the kitchen over here, whatever. But it's not like a closed room. I
Okay,
wish it
but
was, but
yeah.
Have
What
neighbors?
do your neighbors say?
good. Yeah, good question there. They actually haven't complained that I've been, in this room for over 10 years, pretty much playing
Oh
drums.
wow.
Yeah, yeah. So nobody's really, knocked on the door, complains about how loud it is. I think because I'm
Cool.
inside. Yeah, we have double pane windows, so it's very isolating from the outside. But
Cool. Cool.
yeah, I got
Yeah,
lucky.
my boyfriend has over here in our bedroom right now. It's where we sleep. So it's like
The drum
it's
kit's
very
there.
big. Yeah, so he has a drum kit
Oh,
over there. Not
I
while I'm
love it.
sleeping, obviously.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But
I know.
yeah, he's got a practice drum kit there. It's not a full kit, and he also has silent cymbals there, the ones with holes in it,
Oh,
right?
Mm.
I think I have those too. The Zildjians, they have like
Yeah,
a bunch of
yeah,
holes.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, those are good. Yeah, that drops the volume a lot.
Yeah, it makes a whole difference because he used to practice on an electric drum kit and he hated it. He was like, I don't think he hated it, but it was more like he couldn't really get the feel of it, you know? So
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
yeah.
it's hard
Really.
because I do practice on an electronic drum kit at
Mhm.
home, and when I'm on rehearsals, all the it's really easier to play on an electronic
Mm,
drum kit because
It is.
everything
sensitive, you know?
bounces very very easily. You go faster. Everything is
Right.
very closer. Even if
Right.
I try to have the same setup, but it's not
Yeah.
all exactly the same. And so
Yeah.
when I'm in rehearsal, my wrists hurt.
Oh, yeah, the forearms, right? Yeah. Same. Yeah. Yeah, it's like muscle memory on the E kit, and then you transfer to the acoustic and you have to, like, hit harder.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a good
Yeah.
tool though.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you don't have another possibility, I mean, it's really good to have at least that.
And
Yeah.
Marina, I heard some of your songs. Congratulations. I didn't know you.
Thank
In
you.
fact, I didn't know the music you're doing. I'm sorry. I
Cool.
think you don't know mine either.
No, I actually don't.
So that's nice.
But I'll definitely look it up. I will.
Yes. I checked out both of your girl stuff too. So awesome.
Yeah, I listen to you all girls and it's great. And
Cool.
Marina, as a singer, you have a voice like very I don't know, loud. I don't know how to say like uh,
Loud.
Very grand.
voice. Yeah. How do you do to practice as well? If you do you practice at home?
Oh, I do practice at home. I wish
With
I
neighbors
would
as
practice
well.
more. I haven't been practicing much lately because I'm always just like either recording or teaching or like doing something else. So, but I do
Mhm.
practice every now and then, and it's here. No one complains. They're just like once they complained, I think, but it was like super late at night,
Ah, yeah.
and I was actually recording a singer over here, and she was doing grunts,
Oh.
and the neighbors were just like, "What is going on up there?" It was like 9 p.m. or something, and yeah,
Oh.
that's the only time they complain about someone singing here, but they don't. They're
Mhm.
usually pretty okay with that.
That's good.
Yeah,
I
Yeah.
mean,
they're usually like, "Oh, it's so beautiful when you sing opera or something,"
yeah.
and I'm like, "Yeah, thank
You
you."
sing opera?
Mhm.
Yeah, no, not really. I'm not. I'm not a formally trained opera singer. I do play
Mhm.
around with it a lot, and I use it like sometimes with the symphonic metal and my other band Exit
Mhm.
Eden a bit more. I use a more classical sound, but I'm not like a fully opera singer, or like I also don't have a very big repertoire in opera.
Hmm. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
It seems like it though. I mean,
Oh, thank
yeah,
you, thank
it
you.
seems like that classical side. I mean, I started classical piano before I took drums, So you know, you learn a lot when you do classical. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I knew the word dynamics, like stuff like that, you know, like
Yeah,
um all the Italian terms, I believe, you know,
yeah.
crescendo, you know,
Yeah.
diminuendo.
Piano.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Piano, exactly.
fortissimo.
That's why
Fortissimo.
I only know these words because I'm from classical music as well. So
Oh,
that's why, and I'm not so good in English. So I was struggling with this term like dynamics.
yeah.
Uh,
Yeah,
mm.
cool.
No worries.
No, by the way, I read Ken's comment. I didn't say anything, but thank you, Ken. It's cool. He ran across our version of Paparazzi from Lady Gaga on YouTube. It's a cool
Oh,
one.
nice.
If you guys hadn't seen it, it's fun.
I
Is it
didn't.
with is it Exa Eden?
Yeah,
Oh, okay. I checked
yeah,
out your other cover. It was Eclipse of the Heart, I believe.
yeah, yeah,
That
yeah.
one was so good.
We have like Exit Eden was actually the first album was only cover songs, so that was the goal of the project was to be a metal cover band, kind of
Oh,
covering pop songs like really unexpected stuff like Rihanna
right.
and Lady
Cool.
Gaga. Yeah, and that's it's
Hmm.
pretty cool. Like I love it. I love the album. I yeah, I was really happy to be part of it. But
Uh-huh.
yeah, what I meant is that it's actually really fun. If you guys have the chance to check it out, it's really a blend of like over the top
Just all
epic
the
stuff.
chart-topping pop songs turn rock. Yeah.
Yeah,
No, I
turned
love
like
it.
with this whoo voice, which is
Yeah.
very funny.
No, I like the music videos too. Like you guys are very like gothic and Victorian.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
I
yeah,
totally
yeah.
vibe with that. I mean, my music room, we
I
painted the brick
love it.
black.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
cool.
candlesticks. I love that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I love it too. I love it too. Like my decoration
Hmm.
here is totally not like that, but I love it on
It's yeah,
videos.
dark and moody.
Dark and moody.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Mark is really quiet. What is he up to over there?
Nothing. I'm just listening.
Is it still hot in that room over there?
Actually, it is. I'm on the second
Yeah.
floor, though. So I think outside it must be getting warmer than I thought I was going to get today, which is okay. That's not a problem.
Oh, you're in the apartment?
I am, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it's when you're talking about, does it get loud when you're playing drums there? And Jessica is like, not too bad. And for Marina's boyfriend, it kind of depends. And or if she was like recording someone doing grunts, then I used to
Right.
have the issue where my neighbors, not so much about my guitar playing because my guitar's right over there, but being a photographer for a long time, that I would have the models would actually show up here before we would go out to location if we were shooting in location instead of a studio. And so they kept seeing these a variety of strangers go up the stairs, sometimes three
Yeah.
during the day. They're kind of like, is that guy a drug dealer? What the hell's going on up there?
What's all this foot traffic here?
Yeah, and I don't necessarily blame them until I talked to one. They saw me with my tripod and my lenses and all that kind of stuff. When they're like, oh, so you must do some sort of photography. So I explained to them what I do back then when I was doing model photography. And they say, oh, okay, so yeah, so you're seeing a bunch of people show up with cars that you don't recognize and walking up the stairs, and some of them are actually camera ready already, so they got their outfits on, and some of them were very gothed out and alternative looking and metal and punk and all that kind of stuff. And they're like, yeah, we just didn't know exactly what was going on up there, if we need to be aware of that or concerned. Like,
I
no,
know.
if anyone's making the most noise or strange things, it would just be me personally.
Oh, don't worry.
Nobody that's
Yeah,
visiting.
that's
Um, Yeah, and something that's interesting to me that came up during one of my interviews recently was about it's with Lee Aaron, who was a rock and hard rock gal back in the '80s, still doing music today up in Canada. Lovely, I've been a huge fan of hers. Yeah, been a huge fan of hers for a long time, and she was talking about back then, if you're in the hard rock or metal area, that you had her and Lita Ford, and the Runaways where Lita Ford came from, Joan Jett, those kind of folks. I remember there was Cat, there was Betsy Bitch from LA during the '80s, but her point was that it was so sexualized for them back then. You had a bunch of dudes basically trying to formulate your image of what you're supposed to look like. And Marina, you and I actually kind of talked about this during your interview about like, people are people. It's like, so you shouldn't have to portray yourself a certain way. And it's very, very unfair for ladies because it's like, well, how come you're just kind of let yourself go today, or how come you don't? What do you have your glasses on for? How come you don't have makeup on? How it's like basically I can do whatever I want to do because I'm a musician first, and this is how I present my art. I'm just thinking back to myself that even though there's a long way to go, there's so many talented female musicians out there. I don't like the term female fronted at all because you're a singer in a band. And
Yeah.
that would be like
Yeah.
if I'm an Asian singer in a band that had Caucasian, and it just doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
Asian front and back.
Too much labels. Too much labels.
I can't imagine that being a thing. It's an Asian fronted band.
Yeah, and it's just like
Yeah.
it's silly to me. But I do think it's great that there's so many. I mean, again, I can look through the guests that I've had from all genres of music. There's so many freaking talented ladies out there. Do you feel that it's getting better as women in music?
Yeah, I think so. I think absolutely. It's still not, it's still a like very small percentage of like, let's say metal music, right? Which is kind of the industry that I'm in more. Because if you look at like the theater, musical theater industry, it's just like they're only women. But I mean, like, let's say the metal music industry is has always been very male dominated. I think, yeah, back in the 80s. I mean, I'm not also a big connoisseur in the rock history, but yeah, it seems to me like, yeah, there was obviously way less, and now like in terms of sheer number, like those chicks started it for us. It might have been hard for them, in a way that they expected to look a certain way, or they expected to fulfill a male fantasy in a way, maybe more than today, because it was more controlled by, um, labels, or, more people. Nowadays, we have like social media and more freedom, and independent artists doing more whatever they want. Like your social feed is your own magazine. You can present yourself the way you want, right? So in that sense, I think it's a little bit it's better for us in terms of how you present yourself as an artist. uh, there's still a lot of pressure, I think. It's in terms of yeah, looks and everything. But I do think that it's going way way better. I mean, it's just growing. That's just how it is. I think
Mhm.
society is
Yeah,
getting better. Like all the fight has been, worth it, and
Mhm,
it's gonna
I
be
exactly.
even better.
I saw 2 days ago on a French website. There is, I don't know, as you're Brazilian, right, Marina?
Yeah,
You're from Brazil. Do you know the band Nervosa?
yeah,
Nervosa?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And
absolutely.
the singer formed a new band called Crypta.
Yes, Fernanda. Yeah.
Those girls are awesome.
Fernanda Lira, ouais.
Lima, Lira, yeah, something like
Lira,
that.
Lira.
Lira, yeah.
Yeah.
And they posted a news on the French webzine saying that Crypta was going to release a new album. And all the comments, there was a picture of the girls, and they're really gorgeous. They are just so beautiful.
Yeah, yeah,
They
yeah.
are also really good musicians,
They are good.
for
Yes.
doing this
Totally.
kind of death metal. It's really like
Yeah,
really
yeah,
performance. And
Yeah.
all the comments were guys saying like she's dressed like this and she looks like that and everything. It was only that. So
yeah,
I think,
Oh.
yeah, there is some progress. And I personally, I don't care being a woman. I'm a musician. It's that's all.
That's our
I'm in
calling.
a, yeah, I'm in a mixed band with two guys, two girls. So yeah, we do
yeah.
music. We're not girls or guys. We don't care. But when you see the audience and the guys on the all the trolls and everything,
Yeah, it's really
Yeah.
like that. But I
uh,
mean, on the other hand, it's also because it's still somewhat yeah, we're still kind of a minority, right, in the industry. It also grabs attention. Like I do understand, like I have many male friends, musicians, that they say like sometimes it's easier for a band with a female, or like only all female band, or with a good and good-looking female vocalist or a female guitarist, I get their point. Sometimes it does get more attention, yes,
Mm.
you know. But I also don't think it's unfair, in the like I hear that a lot from like friends that, okay, you are good and you're talented, you deserve it, but what if you were a dude? I'm like, I don't know, man. So many things would have been easier for me if I were a dude. On the other hand, it's like,
Right.
yeah, that
I
there
mean,
are differences. I mean, it's not all good being a girl, also not all bad. I mean, there are,
yeah.
yeah,
I mean, we're here to empower, other women too. But yeah,
yes,
we're just musicians, I totally agree with you ladies. Being a drummer too, ZaZa.
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, yeah,
You
like
play
tall
some
guys.
beautiful instruments.
Yeah, I think
Right.
it's so important in terms of representation, really, to have like female instrumentists as well, because I think it's not traditionally something that women have been doing for, yeah, like more and more for the past decades, in the metal scene. Metal is also a kind of a new genre, in terms of,
Yeah. It keeps
yeah,
evolving. There's so much subgenres. I mean,
yeah,
yeah, black metal, new metal, goth metal. There's a
yeah,
lot.
or like some modern metal that didn't exist 5 years ago. I don't know, like yeah, maybe with Meshuggah, Gent, but
Yeah.
yeah, it has been going crazier and crazier lately, so it's turning into a totally new genre as well. Yeah, and
Right.
I mean, yeah, I think it's also really it's really important to have women doing whatever it is in the scene, because it really just
It
helps.
shows. It's just we don't even have to talk about that, because just the fact that we're doing our instruments, or we're doing a band, or we're having projects in heavy metal,
Exactly. Yeah.
that just shows to girls, maybe little
Yeah.
girls, that they
Exactly.
can do it. And
Exactly.
it's only
Yeah.
just, if I like doing concerts, because most of the times it's often girls who come to speak to me. Their boyfriends are just like this.
Yes. Yeah.
Girls, they come to speak to Linda, my singer, and me, and say, "Oh, girls, that's so cool! I want to play drums. In fact, and they, because they just, because of their education, they think they cannot do that because it's a guy thing, or it's and it's still in girls' education. It's a pity, because we
Yes.
are in 2021, and we still propose to little girls to do like uh, um, flute, or
Yeah.
violin, or,
Yeah.
but I
Piano.
don't have anything against.
No, me neither. Me neither.
Right.
Yeah, but that's why I'm saying it's important to see girls playing stuff in metal as well,
Yeah,
because it's like, okay, the singer girls kind of, we get it. It's been happening for already for a few decades, quite a lot.
Uh-huh.
But it's
Yeah.
like, I'm not saying it, it's also cool to
Well,
have girl singers, of course, but it's also even a step, further, I guess, to have really good female instrumentalists in the
right.
scene.
I mean,
yeah, sure.
we can be aggressive, like girl screamers, the
It's
band
a thing
Ginger comes to
now,
mind.
it's a thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a thing. It's a trend.
Yeah,
We're
now
keeping
the
it
guys
going.
would say, because she's a girl and she can scream.
yeah, but girls want, it's normal for me. I like to be very loud. Even if I'm shy, it's my personality. But I like to make noise as well. I like to be a bit violent. I like to feel strong. I like, and it's
Empowering.
all
Yeah.
Yeah.
adjectives of guys. But no, I hope that more and more parents will tell their little girls that it's okay to be loud. It's okay to make noise, and to do like rugby, or I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not lost on me that I just asked a serious question when I told all three of you to try not to get too serious about things, but I didn't want to just completely not ask something when I have such talented people here in this platform, in this forum. So I got to ask this, because to me, and I understand all the points you were just saying, that not to put some sort of mansplaining on any of this kind of shit, but there's such a interesting thing where, yeah, you have the ding dong guys. They're always going to be there. I think there's more of them that are starting to understand that they need to start switching how they look at things, and it's slowly starting to happen. And there's got a long way to go. Sometimes there's going to be a tension drawn because of that, but at the end of the day, you've got to be a good musician, good singer, good drummer, good guitarist, bassist, whatever you do. And then the other stuff should be kind of secondary to it. And it's slowly starting to shift that way. And again, this was actually brought up to me just because, and I never thought about this, with me being Asian American, being Japanese American, that someone was saying to me pre-show before we did our interview, said, Mark, I've never talked to someone who's like you. And I was kind of like, what are you talking about? You mean bald or something, or short, or got a big head? What are you talking about? It's all, and they kind of caught themselves back there, like, oh, I meant that you're Asian. I haven't had a chance to do it, and they're actually excited about it, like I was from Japan or something. I'm like, no, I'm based in here in Seattle. I am Japanese, but I don't speak the language or anything like that. But it caught me off guard that they have never talked to someone virtually doing an interview that was what they considered an Asian person. So it just got me start thinking about, I had to kind of, I treaded on that lightly, like, what do you mean by that? Is that good?
Yes.
And it turned out it was kind of good. I think they were just surprised when they pressed the button, or when I pressed the button, they saw that this face was there and maybe not some other faces that they're used to seeing, I guess. But I was like, you know what? I'm an interviewer. This is what I do. I try to do my homework and my research and try to respect my guests. And then I start thinking, God, what's it must be like for ladies, just when they do everything that they do, and that extra struggle they deal with that men don't necessarily deal with.
Right.
Yeah. Sometimes I obviously, I mean, we do sometimes get more attention because of it. Yeah, I get it. But also, like, I'm sure you girls suffered many types of direct or indirect. I'm sorry, my brain is a little bit mush right now because it's almost 11 o'clock. I'm sorry, I'm not very eloquent. I'm not at the,
the words will come,
at the peak of my speaking performance right now. But what I'm trying to say is, we've all suffered, in our career as musicians, the beginning or now, I mean, the whole time, some sort of prejudice, like a lot, right? I can say for sure. Like, I'm sure that for you girls, like, you're drummers. I mean, I think the stigma is even higher for you because you get on stage and the guys are just like, what the fuck? Like, I don't know. I don't know if that's what happens. It's like, I'm asking, is that really something that you see, that you experience often? Or not really, like less and less? I don't know.
Sometimes, sometimes it's different pre-show. For me, we'll step in the venue when I was playing shows, and I'd be setting up the drum kit, and someone would think that I'm just there helping, and I'm not the actual drummer.
Girlfriend.
The girlfriend.
You're
or
the
something.
girlfriend, yes.
Exactly. So yeah, I don't take it too seriously, but then they see me step behind it and start checking the toms and stuff, and they're like, oh, okay. And then, when we perform, because it's my twin sister who plays guitar, and she kind of fronts the band, kind of like Furies a little bit. But yeah, so after a show, you can kind of tell that they kind of think differently of us. They're more in shock of, like, did that just happen? Like, did they just really play like progressive rock stuff? But then they kind of get really quiet after, if anything, and they start kind of thinking to themselves a bit.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good to consider that.
Yeah, it's quite the same for me. In fact, it's the same as Jessica. Yeah. I once someone, a technician, I think, he thought I was with my cymbals and snare drum, and he was really speed, like he was in a hurry, and he asked me, where is the drummer? And I was like, with my cymbals. I was like, I don't know.
Drummer who?
I didn't know he was looking for the drummer of my band, in fact. So, but it's just some cliches I got sometimes. But in fact, I can say most of the time, people in the venues are those who talk to me are very I don't know how to say that, but they're nice. I have a very selective memory, so bad stuff I always forget bad
That's
situations.
good.
Yeah.
Usually it's the opposite.
Yeah, I mostly forget the bad people and everything. So
Good for
that's I
you.
think it's better
Good
for
for
me.
you. Yes, that's cool.
Yeah. You don't want to, keep that in your memory box at all. Yeah, just gotta dump the
So
bad stuff.
you
Yeah,
really don't like you don't have it as a bad thing. Like people's shock is more like a normal thing for you guys. Like you don't think like, oh, there's
Yeah.
real prejudice going on,
I
or
mean, it's easy to let yourself feel that way. I think it's we kind of, I think, train ourselves to just accept that we're going to shock some people, and it's up to them to see how they feel about it. But we're not gonna let that manifest
yeah,
yeah.
that's cool.
how we
That's
feel.
cool.
If we think too much about that when we are in this in stage situation, it's it can be something that we create ourselves in our head to be
Yeah,
like, oh my god, they are going to be shocked because I'm a girl. And so you don't have, it's better not to think about that and just act like a person and not a guy or a girl, and just
Right.
act
yeah,
like a musician.
absolutely. Yeah, that's really
And
cool. Mm.
yeah, because
Exactly.
you can have different attitudes that show if you think too much about that. Like maybe you can look like you're apologizing to be here, or you can look to be like a butch and I'm like a guy, and you're not any of that. You're just yourself
You,
playing
yeah,
Right.
drums.
yeah. I think
So,
that's really the right way to go. I mean that mentality, just like from the audience and from the
Mhm.
musicians. I think that's really cool.
mm,
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. I mean, I still get guys like, they'll offer help too when I'm liking all the drums because it's a lot of work setting up
yeah,
drum
I get
sets,
it.
the big bass drum. Yeah, and I don't turn them down. I'm just like, yeah, sure, I could
Yeah,
take a
sure.
hand.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, especially if there's a venue that's upstairs and it's not like on the floor level. Ooh, yeah, need some help with that.
Yeah, I think like the most, let's say, sort of, I don't want to say prejudice, but yeah, like the normal stuff that might happen to you that might make one a little bit mad or something. They are mostly not on stage. I
Hmm.
think, like
mm,
for me at least, like I really only have really few experiences where I remember someone staring at me weird because I'm a girl. Like that
Oh,
doesn't really happen. Also, especially not as a singer. I mean,
yeah.
yeah,
I
you
think,
get caught in the moment and you forget about
yeah.
the crowd really.
And I mean, it's not that shocking that there's a girl singing in a metal band. I mean, nowadays it's not that like, oh, she's a girl. But I used to do
Mhm.
like cover of male singers. Like I used to sing Dio and stuff like that. And when I was younger,
Cool.
yeah,
Yo.
Theo.
yes, I was for a really short time in a Dio cover band. And that's when I remember, like, I started sound checking, and there was a guy in the audience, and he was just like, "It's a girl," and like with that face, like, "Ugh." And I
Right.
was like, "Okay, well,
It's like,
whatever."
I don't have cooties. What's going on? Not singing.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just like little small things that happen here and there, but that's more like, you know, gonna keep happening. That
Mhm.
I don't know. I still remember this, that like I was with my ex-boyfriend somewhere, and like many times that happened, and he has big personality, and he's a guitar player, and he also plays in
Mhm.
a metal band. And he was like, I think he was talking to a doctor of mine, like my doctor even. And then like he was just like talking to him like something about guitar, and the doctor was like, "Oh, you play the guitar? Do you play shows?" And then he felt like I was feeling a little bit outside of the, and he was like, "Yeah, I do play shows, but she's the rock star," like he was trying to pass me the ball to include me in the conversation. And the guy
Yeah.
just would not, he kept
Yeah.
talking
Oh,
to him
tunnel
because like,
vision.
yeah, and
Oh,
that happens a
It
lot that
happens the same. In fact, you just said something I forgot, but yeah, I agree with you. It's yeah,
right.
yeah,
it happens.
yeah,
Exactly. But
that's
I
a
mean, at
little
least
annoying.
we're all positive about, just championing, music, and we don't really care for
Yeah,
girls. We're just, it's all about the music. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely,
Mhm.
absolutely. That's the
Yeah.
conclusion of this very serious polemic topic.
Yeah. We're
Right?
serious, girls.
For our
Turned so dark. It's not
it's
something I can
yeah.
usually talk about very eloquently at 11 p.m. So
You're good. It's a
I'm
unique thing, so it's
yes,
yeah.
I'm not sure I made my point very clear. I hope I did.
You're good. You did.
Yeah.
We all
It's
vibed
always
with
a bit
you.
scary talking about these things. I mean, openly, I think, like online to everybody. I think it's important, but at the same time, I think it's very easy to say something you don't really mean, or I don't know.
Right.
It's
That will be being
nowadays it's
virtual.
a yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
try to be careful
Well,
what
yeah,
I
and
say.
Marina, that's a really good point for you and for all of you because depending on your following, and all of you have strong followings through social media platforms, every little thing you put out there, someone can misinterpret. They can take it a different way, and
Yeah.
so you do have to think twice. You know, someone like me who doesn't have that level of following, I have to think about it sometimes because I've gotten really loose lipped during these fun table sessions, and I'll go
Yeah,
back.
yeah, yeah,
And I'm
yeah.
like, oh, geez, did I really say that? And that's right. I edit that
Yeah.
out. And I'm like, oh, fuck it. I already said it. So somebody already heard
I
it
usually
live.
do say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say my band or my people like close to me really call me in a fun way, like the uh social warrior, like that's a little bit my nickname. So I'm just trying
Yeah.
to keep my cool.
Depends on the topic, right?
Depends on the time.
Yeah.
I always have to go back to it's all good. We're gonna be good. Like
Yes.
this. People don't mean that. It's all nice.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah. I'm not a man hater. I'm not. I'm not.
Yes. We're just happy to be here, guys.
Yeah, we just wanna play music. That's the conclusion.
Yes. It's our
We have
outlet.
our little space. We don't want to steal your place anywhere in society. We just want
But there's music for everyone there will
it's ours.
be. It's not a cake. It's not because you take a part of the cake that there will be less for them.
Exactly.
So
Yeah, there's plenty of
Exactly. That's
space.
like
Yeah,
amen. That's like the whole philosophy.
exactly.
My whole worldview right there. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
there's plenty to go around. And it really does come down to also just in general to your own viewpoint on things. You know, am I going to keep taking the high road and keep doing what I do, representing myself? And I've been, trust me, there's been a couple of times during interviews and they're live. I've been caught off guard when someone brings up a really, really serious social topic with me. And in the back of my head, I'm like, do I go there with them or do I try to steer it
Yeah.
some other direction because people
Yeah.
are watching this and they're going to watch it later, and
Yeah.
then I've gotten some comments via YouTube, hopefully not today, but I've gotten some where they were not very pleasant toward me based on what I had said during something, and this is because they had a different point of view. And I've always been of the mindset is like, that's okay if you don't have the same point of view as me. I completely understand that most people don't. You're not going to find someone that's 100% the exact same point of view on every detail as you do, but
Absolutely.
as long as we can respect each other's point of view,
Yes.
I'm okay with that. If you start making
Yeah.
personal attacks, you start doing any of that kind of stuff, that's when I start to tune you out. And it's like, no, I'm just going to go over here and keep doing what I'm doing. But yeah, there was a couple people that were relentless with like long freaking comments. It's like, how long
Oh,
did that
Wow.
take you to type out just to kind of say, I didn't like what you said?
oh no,
right.
no.
A lot of time
Yeah.
spent there.
Yeah, it's like, you know what,
Yeah.
do whatever you're
But
going to do.
I think us, I mean, I'm sorry for bringing up another serious topic. It's just that it's in my mind now.
Mhm.
That us
Go
as
ahead.
artists nowadays in 2021, I always catch myself thinking, should I be more socially engaged or not? I mean,
Oh,
I
with
think it's a
social
tricky.
media.
Yes, like
Oh,
be
okay.
more open and stand for stuff you believe in, or should you really, as an artist, just kind of I do music, I make music, and that's my thing. Like, what do you guys think? What is your opinion on that? I'm sorry for asking this. I'm very
No,
sorry.
no.
That's a good one.
I'm very
Yeah,
sorry.
it's a good one. Yeah.
It is. I'm kind of half and half. I feel like it's good to keep the mystery. You don't want to be too out there, like with every single thing that's happening in the world. But it's good to keep the mystery because as an artist, the crowd, the community that you create, they look up to you as that place to get away in that safe space. So it's going to
Yes.
take their mind off of those things. So yeah, it's a little bit of the mystery, and you also do want to be aware what's going on in the community of music. So it's like a little bit of both.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I think.
for me, it's I don't have so many followers like you girls, because just the fact that I think maybe it's because of my work. My work is being a PR for artists, for musicians,
Cool.
and
Oh,
I I after the work I do for the artists, I don't know how to do it for me.
For yourself. Yeah, I get
oh,
it.
Uh, I don't know. So I post really rarely on my Instagram, or only if I do shows like this, or
right.
sometimes during concerts, and sometimes during 2 weeks I don't post anything, even a month, or because I don't know. I like to be disconnected at the end of the day when I play drums.
Yes.
Uh, in
Totally.
fact, Jessica,
Yeah.
I see that you have a lot of followers and you play a lot drums on your Instagram, and it's great. I love your videos. You play so good, and
Thank you.
yeah, you're a very very good drummer. And but I wanted during the pandemic, when I was isolated, I said, okay, I don't have a job anymore because my artists are not coming in France, so
Um,
I was not working a lot, and I said, okay, I never did a drum cover, so I'm going to try to do one. To do
yeah,
like
yeah,
all the girls who play drum covers, really like beautiful and very feminine and
yeah, yeah.
everything.
There's a lot of girl drummer covers, yes. But
And but I tried to record this, but it's a pain in the ass. I'm sorry to say that, but
it is,
it's,
it's a
it takes
lot of
so
work.
much time. Yeah, it takes
So much
so
work.
much time, so much work to have a good image, to have a good sound, to have a good recording and everything. Uh,
Yeah, really.
so I did just one, and
Exactly.
after I said like, oh, maybe the next one will be in 6 months because I don't have the time. I don't know,
Right.
I prefer being in my drums with myself, and
Yeah, 'cause it's yeah.
I admire all the girls who play, all the musicians who have the time to post so many stuff about their instruments, but
Uh-huh.
I don't know. I feel guilty not posting too much.
Oh man.
Uh,
Don't
Oh,
don't
I
feel
know.
guilty.
no, but because
Yeah.
if you want to sell, if you want to, because my band needs promotion, so I can make promotion for my band, like with playing with my drums.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
I don't know.
Instagram, yeah, it can be pretty
I'm so
crazy.
bad.
The reason why I started doing a lot of those like short clips too, because people's attention spans have it's decreased a lot. Like sometimes
Yes.
they can't watch a full cover and they'll need just like a 30-second kind of like TikTok status like short drum clip. I don't have a TikTok by the way. Um,
You
but yeah,
should.
that's a whole nother animal. But yeah, it takes a lot of work, a lot of audio stuff, the audio end of things is not easy. The video stuff too, but yeah, I kind of felt a little pressure to do some of that, cuz we're not playing shows in the past
Yeah.
year. Got to look like you're still busy, I guess. So, yeah, there
Uh,
was some
I think,
pressure.
oh my God, this has been
I,
a big thing. I think for all artists during the pandemic, there has been this pressure of like, oh my God, I need to do something. I need to play live concerts in my home. I need to
Live streams, yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I've been feeling that for the whole pandemic. And now I think I'm better off with that. It was really seriously burning me
Me
out.
too.
It was driving me crazy.
I
You
was
too?
considering it all. Yeah, yeah, drums like
yeah,
you're going to
about
mic it up.
this. It's a feeling that
Crazy.
you're guilty not posting, not playing, and
Yeah.
it's, I was like, I should do that, I should do that.
Yes, me too. And I was like, oh my God,
Mhm.
should I? But then again, it's like, it's so much work. And then it needs to sound good because people play, sometimes they play like live streams that it's not really super live. And
Uh,
then, I
Pre-recorded,
mean,
yeah.
pre recorded live. Yeah, I mean, I try to make like acoustic stuff here at home and then recording with my phone, and then the sound is just crap, if you don't record through the computer. And I was just like, well,
Mhm.
like I have to work. I have to actually make money right now.
Right?
Mm,
It takes time out of your creative time because you can get drained from doing that, and then by the time you're actually there to
Absolutely.
perform, it's like, yeah, you get
Absolutely.
tired. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
I did a live stream. It was last year, I think. Before I was interviewed with Mark. It was for the Women's International Music Network. They're
Cool.
kind of with the NAM show. If you guys are familiar with the NAM show, but yeah, we did a live stream, and it was on Zoom. So as you know, it's really kind of weird getting the audio correct on Zoom. So unfortunately, it didn't really go well because just the audio. It's hard to figure it out when you're live. With the
yeah.
drums and
Yeah, absolutely.
guitars. Yeah, crazy.
Absolutely.
I know
Uh,
we had these things on, Jessica, what you're just speaking of, that when I went on the virtual tour with Alice last year for the first time, they had never done anything virtual, but they're very, very skilled to figure things out. I'm not tech oriented at all. And their very first show, when they did their set live, there was no audio. So people were in the chat saying, we can't hear anything. We don't know what's going on. And I didn't have any
oh
way
my
to,
God.
I had no way to get a hold of them other than through Facebook Messenger. I didn't have like text numbers that I could just get a hold of. So
Oh
basically their
no.
whole set, we couldn't hear anything. And then they had a
Nightmare.
yeah, they had a second set to do, and that's when they were so thankful that the fans were putting things in the chat, and they were very polite. It was, hey, we can't hear anything, that kind of thing. And then that's when the band members gave me their numbers, so that when they did the next set, that later that night, I could just text them, sounds good, doesn't sound good, can't hear this, whatever. And that became kind of my charge. That anytime they did their live sets, I was there like this, listening
Yeah,
and watching, as kind of
that's
their
good.
their roadie sound person. And eventually they
Wow.
got it dialed in, but every now and then to be like, we couldn't hear the vocal during that tour. We couldn't hear this, and it's just something that was just a process of trying to figure stuff out. But you're right. If you don't have somebody like that to bounce that off of, like who's out there in the audience that can actually hear this stuff and how's it sound, you don't know.
Right. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, it's funny because we're at home, my sister and I, yeah, we're still with our parents, and luckily our mom was right there, and telling, waving her hands like, hey, like the sound, like we can't hear you guys really. It's so that's what got us to stop playing.
Uh,
Yeah,
Okay.
but exactly.
Yeah,
Need
and
that physical person.
I've been really lucky, even just with the interview. Sometimes, my picture looks all pixelated and stuff. And Ken, I know, has done that a couple of times. Mark, there's something wrong with your picture. They'll put it into the chat. I'm so thankful for that, because otherwise, I don't know. I'll look over here and it looks fine to me, but whatever they're seeing. So I was like, hey, is everything okay now? And they're like, no, it still looks weird or whatever. And it becomes this weird interactive thing that I don't necessarily like. I had to get used to the fact, because I like things presented as best as possible. And so it had to become this thing of like, Mark, it's okay if things don't look 100% the way you want them to. This is just the process of what these live stream things are. Just like I disappeared half an hour ago from the screen, like I mentioned, it's probably going to happen. I can't stand it, but it's like it just comes with the territory right now. And then I just think,
Yeah.
well, is there a way to fix it for the next time? But being a perfectionist, it bugs the hell out of me.
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
all
it's so
perfectionists.
consuming. Yeah, I think we're all, yes. It's like, yeah.
yeah, but
I
Yeah.
think it's so time consuming.
yeah, and last year everybody was challenging all the bands, like, are you going to do a live stream? Are you going
Yes.
to do a live stream?
The
In
whole time.
the
Yeah.
Mhm.
whole time, yeah, we
Which is
really
good. I mean, they wanted it, but it's like, it's
yeah.
also like we felt the pressure to do that,
Yeah,
and
Yeah.
but
not
with
easy.
Furies we didn't do any because, like you said, it's a lot of time, but a lot of money. In
Also,
Paris,
yes.
Mhm.
we we have to find a venue that's opened
Yeah.
or that let us play inside, and sound engineer, all this video setup and everything.
Everything.
If you
Right.
want to propose something decent for your fans and for your
Absolutely.
audience, and if you want them to watch it until the end, you have to propose something perfect and something really like that worth it, worth the
Exactly.
time that they're going to be behind their computer like this.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
that,
Exactly.
that we couldn't. We decided we wouldn't do anything like that would not have a good sound or not have a good image or
Yeah.
Right.
Yes, it's exactly what we also decided from Phantom and Lead. We were like, no, I mean, let's not do something half-assed, just, we need a lot of time and money to make something that's really on the
Right.
standards we want to keep, of
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
I wonder how like it would feel because we all haven't really done a live stream show. Like, we feed off of the crowd, as musicians, even
Yeah.
especially frontmen like you, Marina.
Yeah.
Like the crowd's right there, you see their faces and you're right
Yeah.
there with them. So I don't know how the vibe would be. Like it's good that
It's
we're
still
saving it
weird.
for
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I think you could go more into a theater mode as a performer. I mean, if you've performed theater, that's kind of how it is, right? You imagine there's no
Hmm.
connection between you and the audience typically.
Right.
There can be, but yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that would be the mode that I would personally go to. It's like, okay, it's like a theater performance now.
Oh, I mean, I'm curious about you brought up theater. So, how was your background with theater? Like, did you start when you were younger? Like,
No,
or
actually, not at all. I didn't start with the whole music thing since I was like until I was a teenager.
oh, okay,
And then, like, first I was into metal and I started singing metal and stuff. And then the whole thing with bands got complicated because you guys know how it is, like a bunch of people. And I
right.
just wanted a little bit more autonomy in my own career. So I was like, theater
Hmm.
seems like a good idea. It's just me, you know. It's you
Yeah,
auditioning for bigger productions and stuff like that, of course. It's not only you.
yeah.
But, when
But
it
you get
comes to
over that
practicing and decisions, and it's like, yeah. Yeah.
exactly. I mean, it helps with
Yeah.
your ability to perform on stage and not have any nerves. A lot of theater
Yeah, that
kids are very
helps. It
outgoing.
helps. Yeah. I don't think I'm outgoing. I think that's like not really true. I'm not shy per se, but I can go into a performance mode
Yeah.
really kind of easily, and I think that's thanks
Hmm.
to the theater experience.
Right. You're
I
able
think
to kind
so.
of switch that in your mind, just
Yeah.
theater mode.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, theater mode. But I mean, once again, when you're playing with the band, it's also very different than a theater, so
Yes.
you need to interact with the
Yeah.
audience. It's also fun. I like it. I
Yeah. You
prefer
have
it.
to
I prefer
read
it.
your band members. Yeah.
Yes, with your band members, of
Yeah.
course, as well. Yeah.
Who do you girls feed off of when you're performing, like at a show? Like, do you feed off of the guitarist, or like how do you read each other on stage? Like, what's that band member?
I just
For me, it's
my
my twin, my
band is so
sister.
funny. I think you
Mhm.
guys must have like this crazy connection, right? You just like kind of blink to each other and you know what's going on.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
It's just the two of us. We used to have all girls, and we used to play with guys as well. But yeah, it's just been like a duo. So just like White Stripes, kind of.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that's so
Yeah,
cool.
but
And
yeah,
it's
we have a
cool.
telepathy.
What
Amazing.
your band like Dianthus is
Dianthus.
Dianthus. It's really like for me when I listen to it, all the structure and all the melodies and the rhythm. It's
Hmm.
so interesting because there is something real new in what you're doing as a
Thank
duet.
you.
It's it's really cool. I think
Thank
um,
you.
it's yeah. I wanted to tell you because it's original, like very. You don't
And
see a band, a duo, a metal duo. It's really rare.
Pretty
In
rare.
I don't know any.
it is. I don't
Many.
know how.
And all
Right,
and
right.
together you're so alike, like you're really twin, like a real twin. And it's
Fraternal twins. Yeah.
yeah, you have everything for like theater as well. I think there is. Um, I haven't seen you on stage yet, but I if you pass
One
to
day.
France, I will come because it must be like a show, really interesting show to watch and to listen. It's
Thank you.
Yeah, I think so
We
too. Yeah.
pack a lot into what we do. I play with a click track. So we actually have piano and synthesizers happening. So yeah, when we play on stage, it's not just raw drums and guitar. Yeah, there's like tracks going. So we try to fill
I
up
thought
as
so.
much space as we can. But it's funny how we started choosing our instruments because we both played piano first, and
Ah.
then yeah, we then got into a rock school. So my sister chose guitar and I chose drums, and luckily it's that way because we can write that way. So
Cool.
it works out.
Cool. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's true. It's very
Yeah.
useful.
Right. But I think we're progressive because, like we're twins and we kind of just finish each other's sentences a little bit.
Yeah.
But for me as a drummer, I like to play odd time signatures, 5/4, 7/8 stuff. So once I started doing that, my
Drummers
sister
love
just
that.
kind of, yeah, guitar just walked in. She's like,
Mhm.
okay, now we're turning the chapter into odd time.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. Luckily she's cool with that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. My
Yeah.
band too. My band is also quite cool with that.
Yeah. No, your members are awesome. Yeah. The drummer as well. What is the drummer's name for Phantom Elite?
Yuri.
Yudi? Yeah.
Yuri. Yuri. Like
Yuri?
Yuri. Yes, like a Russian name, Yuri.
Oh,
He's not
awesome.
Russian, but it's spelled very weirdly because he's Dutch. So
Oh,
it's like
okay.
Joeri, and people are like, "What is his name?
It's like a
Joeri?
silent J.
What is Joeri?" Yeah, but
Oh, okay.
it's just Yuri, Yuri,
Yudi. Yeah.
Yuri.
No, he's
Yes.
he's a good drummer. Yeah. I like
Yeah, I
his
think
style.
so. I'll tell him. Yeah, I'll tell him. He's a
Yeah,
very, very dedicated to his craft.
yeah. No, you could tell. I mean, I watched the music video. It was, I believe it is the Glass Crown.
Glass Crown, yeah,
Glass Crown. Yes. So good. I love
which
that
has a
that
disco
song.
beat. Yeah, cool.
It does.
Yeah,
Yeah. No, you guys are awesome.
cool, cool. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, you had asked like who do we feed off, right? On stage
Yes.
of the people. I just like if I don't know, if I look at them on stage, sometimes I just want to like I really love them so much. I love my band. And I don't know, sometimes I just want to laugh really hard. If I stare too much at Yudi's face, we're just gonna start laughing. The
Right,
same
right.
thing with the guitarist. We're just so fun. Like when we're rehearsing, it sounds bad, but it's not. Like if we make a mistake or something, we usually just like look at the person that made the mistake and start laughing. It's not accusative. It's more like we hear you. You know, and that
Yeah.
happens a lot on shows too. So we just randomly would start laughing if we interact too much.
Oh,
So
gotcha.
so I think we don't really interact that much on stage.
Not like
Maybe
the
not
eye
yet.
contact, but yeah. Yeah. You feel the
Yeah.
music behind you, so.
Yeah, but I mean, we've played actually with this lineup, we've played few shows together, and it's been a long time we don't. So
Okay.
I think we're gonna know more about that once we hit the road next year. In
Yes.
is it January or February? I think it's February. No, it's January. I don't know.
January.
I don't remember.
You gotta do prepping in January if it's in February.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't. Anyway, it's
exactly.
we're
Rehearsing.
playing with the Rhapsody of Fire,
Oh,
that
Cool.
big power metal band
power
from
metal.
the
Okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah. They are super
Oh,
power.
but I saw, yeah,
Really?
you're playing as well with Nightmare.
Yeah, who's a French band? Yes, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Wow.
that's
Yeah,
not,
with the opening act and then Nightmare and then Rhapsody of Fire.
that's cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, they're supposed to be really cool. I mean, cool people as well. Like their sound is really nice.
Yeah.
But I've only heard very good things about them as people as well. So I'm looking forward to it.
I only know the bass player personally, but and not so much. It's not a very close friend of mine. It's more a friend of my singer, but
All right.
he's a very nice guy, and he's in charge of Metallian in France.
Is it
Uh,
Eve?
Yves,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. I
Wow.
don't know him.
Small
I only
world.
heard very good things about him. Again.
yeah. It's a great band,
Yeah.
very great band.
Cool. Cool.
Yeah, that's interesting. I just remember when you mentioned Nightmare, their singer reached out to me like over a month ago to do an interview, but they wanted to do it to coincide with their album. So it just kind of clicked with me. Wait a minute, that's the gal that messaged me.
Cool.
I said, hey, why don't we? I was thinking she wanted to do it right then, back in May, and she's like, oh no, we want to do it like in June. I said, okay, well just let me know when the timing is right. But yeah, she reached out to me, and I think she's a part of, or someone's a part of a second band that's also in France. So there's Nightmare, and then there's this other band, or maybe she's the singer for a second band or something. That she sent me two different bands.
I
That's why
think so.
I got confused. I'm like,
Yeah.
well,
I think she
who?
sings on two bands.
Yeah. And let's see, Ken saying, I would love to see all your respective bands come through Texas in the next year or two. Well, fingers crossed. Hope it happens.
Yes. I've never played in Texas, so there's a first for everything. Yes.
Okay, and
Yeah.
just so that everybody out there, that if you've been seeing the past fun table sessions, you know some of these things. I mean, God, I think the record was like 4 hours and something minutes. One of them went really long. That's not what we're doing today, or if with any of the ones that I do. I told my guests that I would try to keep this at 90 minutes, and we've got about 5 more minutes left. So, especially
Cool.
for Marina and Zaza, because it's late over there. Um, is there anything you'd like to, Marina, you kind of mentioned Phantom Elite's going to be going on tour in 2022 and the stuff's been all over social media. Jessica and Zaz, anything else you'd like the fans to know about your bands and or just anything in general that you'd like to get out there while we have this platform?
Sure. I mean, with Dianthus, yeah, of course, we were working on our second record. Um, we released a few singles, Realms, Creeping In, but yeah, we're gonna hit the studio again pretty soon and finish off three more tracks. So we're excited about that, and we are working on a comic book for that album as well.
Ooh.
So yeah, we're gonna become characters, and it's gonna be a treat for you guys. And also we're gonna have a jewelry line coming up with the comic book too. So
Nice.
gonna some cool merch for all the Dianthus fans out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we want that concept. You know,
Cool.
we're into fantasy and medieval stuff, and we're gonna create that world for you guys. So yeah,
Cool.
that's a
That's
sneak peek.
really cool.
Yeah,
Thank
that
you.
sounds awesome.
Kudos for all the, you know, for all that.
Yeah,
that's,
yeah. I mean,
that's
it's
really
the
cool.
second time I'm announcing that. It's very fresh. So
Cool.
yeah,
Nice.
awesome.
Yes.
Zaza?
Yeah. And me, it's quite the same with Furies, where we were hitting the studio in like end of September for our second album. But we will release it next year. But we have a couple of singles coming on before the end of the year. And we hope that it will be cool. I don't know. We hope that it will have the same very nice people following us because we were very surprised uh, of the reactions of the fans, and uh, it was a pleasure to read all the comments, the good comments, and all the stuff about our first album. So we didn't expect so much, and we didn't expect to do interviews with people around the globe. So that's so cool, and I hope it will be the same for the second album.
Awesome,
Even
Zaza.
more.
Yeah,
Yes.
and more.
Yeah. Bigger and better. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
And Marina, anything else you want to add?
Yeah, I mean, well, you guys know about Phantom Elite going on tour. We're also working on our third album at the moment. We're still not hitting the studio, but we're demoing stuff, and it's turning out pretty crazy and pretty cool.
Cool.
And I am releasing a cover track, actually, that I one of the only cover tracks I managed to put out during pandemic times
Mhm.
because I was inspired and my intention was not to make something to really release out there. But I was like, why not? I mean, why not? I worked on it anyway, you know, my friends worked on it. It's cool. Yeah, so I'm releasing a cover from Demi Lovato, Dancing with the Devil, in a few days, I
Fun.
guess, on the 26th of June.
So pretty
Cool.
soon.
I'll keep my
Yeah.
eyes peeled.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's such a cool song, and I was like, "Oh, this deserves some distortion guitars and like cool." So, yeah,
Can't wait to
that's
hear
what we did.
that.
Cool, thank you, thank you. Yeah, and well, Exit Eden is I still can't say anything about Exit Eden, but let's just keep fingers crossed because we might have very good news soon.
Awesome.
Ooh,
Very cool.
congrats.
What label is Exit Eden on, by the way?
Now it's on Napalm.
Napalm. Okay.
I don't even know
Awesome.
if I'm allowed to say that, but now I said it. Oops.
I know Crypto's on there, so
Yeah.
very, very
Mhm.
awesome. And Ginger too, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah. Napalm
Yeah.
is a huge label now
Oh,
at the
they have
Yeah.
an
moment.
awesome studio too. I was watching some
Yeah.
of the Cryptas their behind the scenes stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
there's a studio that Napalm has. It
Oh.
looks pretty roomy and awesome.
Awesome.
So
I didn't know
congratulations
about
on
that
that.
studio. Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, and everybody, if you didn't catch the band links in the chat, they're definitely in the YouTube description already. So you can go to Phantom Elite, Furies, Dianthus. You already heard from all three ladies what's coming up, and everyone's got cool things coming up. So you can follow them on all their social media. If they have any kind of Patreon things, just any kind of thing to help get us through this time to when they can be back on their respective stages doing what they love doing. And I personally thank everyone for joining in the chat. Marina, ZaZa, and Jessica, thank you for taking the time to be the new Fun Table session. This is basically Fun Table session number 1. Yeah, this was so awesome to have all three of you
Thank you,
here.
Mark, and thank you, girls. It was a pleasure getting to know you both.
Yeah,
And
it's
seeing you again, Mark.
a nice
Yeah.
meeting with you girls.
Yes.
Yes.
So fun today.
Awesome.
I'll follow you guys and keep up with stuff.
Me too.
Yes, I'm gonna stay connected.
Yes,
Yeah.
let's do that.
With pleasure.
Absolutely.
Maybe this is the seeds of a super group in the making. Who knows, people?
No,
With
Maybe
two
Killer
drummer
Tour.
band.
that would be great.
Yes.
We always joke about this, me and my boy.
No,
Like
Band-
two
Maybe a
drummer band.
tour.
that's so cool.
That- that-
Like
Cool.
the singer is probably the unhappiest person in the universe. A metal band with two drummers.
And
Ah!
symbols.
Yes.
So
You
cool.
can't, like on a small stage, you can't hear anything beyond like the cymbals.
Right.
Yeah.
So fun.
Oh my gosh. But again, everybody, thank you in the chat. Thank you, Marina, ZaZa, and Jessica. Have a great weekend and stay safe where you're at. And if you're interested in when is my next live stream? My next live stream is Sunday night at 7 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. I've got Cancer Slug coming, who I believe have never done a live stream interview ever as a full band. So this is kind of a unique experience. They are a old school punk band, and they are aggressive. They are probably a little bit how do I say this? They're not for everybody. Let's just put it to you that way. Just check them out online. They might be really offensive to some people, and it might be a band that you absolutely love. But I totally dig them, and we're going to be getting together 7 p.m. Sunday night. And from there, we just kind of go on with everything else that we do. So again, thank you so much, and have a good one, everybody.
Cool.
Thank you guys.
You too. Merci.
Good night, girls.
Obrigada. Obrigada.